Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. We are going into another weekend update, basically a week worth of wrap up of what's been going on around here in the backyard of Villa Feliz. So anyway, hang around and see what's been going on. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Well, it's not just been a busy week here in the backyard of Villa Feliz, but there's been a lot of things that have gone on. And I want to kind of capture many of the things that have happened this week, because it's been, again, like I said, it's been a very busy week. But the main focus of attention this week was the refresh of Villa Feliz itself. Remember, I said in the last update that we have the workers from Caribbean Construction, that's Romeo Nocete's crew, that does a lot of the house building in our subdivision and in the Batangas area. Well, anyway, they are here doing the refresh, and then we're doing a refresh of the entire house. So let's kind of take a look and see at where we are in the progress of that project. As you can see, the scaffolding is still up on the side of the house, and this is where the major area of focus has been for the last, I'm going to say about seven days. We started over here because I really needed them to put the scaffolding up to be able to get to the very top of the roof, because you got to realize, even though we are 2 stories above, the one that's down makes it almost a 3-story tall building, and on this side right here, plus we have a very high angle for that goes to the apex of the roof up there, which is about 35 degrees. So we need even a higher amount to get to that very top edge right there. But they've been working. You can see from the last time we looked back here, it's a tremendous amount of work. You can see they've done the main color here. We went out and did a refresh on the shutters, the windowsills, the framing, everything, and they're working their way down. And our hopes here is to get this done so we can pull the scaffolding down and I can get back and use the basement for some of the woodwork and actually park the vehicle inside there. And we're slowly going to work around the house. We're going to go all around and complete all the way around. Now over on this side of the garage, we're going to try to do something to prevent this from happening again. We have a problem with the lack of waterproofing on the top where the tiles are. When the house was originally built, they didn't do the proper waterproofing underneath the tiles, and then some of the water gets through some of the cracks in the grouting area. It goes inside, and then we end up having this effect over here. If they didn't neutralize the concrete properly in the slab, you will get this lime calcium deposit when it rains, goes through the concrete slab and runs down the side. So what we're going to do, instead of doing like we did over here with the paint, the regular paint originally had over here, we're going to go ahead and put some cladding. We're going to put some stone cladding, and I'm going to try to find the same stone cladding that we have for the planters and the walkway up to the backyard, and we're going to cover this portion right here. So even in the event that we have a little bit, it'll be easier to clean than the running that you would normally see down over paint. Now I will continue to do updates as we go along on this project. It's going to take several weeks to get this entire house done, and we're doing everything, all the walls, all the way around, and we're going to do some corrections to some of the problems that were associated from the original build. But this week was also very busy in other areas as well, and one happened to do with a recent visit to my favorite dentist in Lipa, and that was Mark Villalobos. Mark and his wife Alicia, they're both doctors, dentist at Villalobos Dental Clinic. And I had kind of an emergency. I had one of my old crowns from the United States that they had done at my dentist in the United States, and it broke. And I ended up going down to the dental clinic, and I was a little bit concerned because sometimes it takes a little bit of time. If you're doing a crown, and to do it properly, they normally send it out to a lab. Some of the newer dental clinics, some of them in the US, but not all of them, they actually have the ability to, on site, they have some sophisticated technology to be able to build your tooth at the dental clinic. And when I went into Villalobos Dental Clinic down there, Mark had something really exciting to show me, and it was a new, basically like a machine that creates, like I was saying earlier, creates teeth, creates crowns inside there. Not the final crown, like if you were doing porcelain or if you were doing zirconium, which is what the specialty is down at Villalobos. But what it does the temporary crown that immediately while you're there, they can put a temporary on you while the example, the model or duplicate of that goes out to a lab, and you come back with that highly strong thing like a zirconium crown. So finding out that Doc Mark had gone into higher technology inside his dental clinic there, that was a pleasant surprise, and I was able to get that taken care of. But while I was there, there was a tooth behind the one that we were getting the crown replacement done on that I had already had a little of a problem with before, and that was another crown that I had done in the US. And while I was there and they were just doing the flossing from the new crown, as they were doing the floss, the one on the back, it just basically fell off. So luckily I was sitting there, and he said, oh, we're just going to do this all over again. And they did the impression, and they got the computer generated CAD inside there, sent it to the machine in the back, and they were able to do both at the same time, because it would have been horrible had I come home and started brushing and the other one came off, and then I would have had to go through that same emotional process, because going to the dentist is an emotional thing for me. I don't know about for you, but I was so glad I was able to get both attention to both of those while I was sitting there. And I got to thank, I can't tell you, I got to thank the staff and Doc Mark himself for hanging around for such a long time, because they weren't prepared for that. And they have other patients inside there, but they stayed until 7:30 at night finishing up on my temporary tooth that was inside there, both of the temporary teeth, and they're going to go ahead and send those out, and we'll get the permanent ones here pretty soon. Well, anyway, I want to thank Doc Mark and the staff for taking the time and being professional during that entire time, and not saying, oh, I'm tired or anything like that. They were professional even after like 10 hours of working inside the office down there. So I'm going to leave a link at the end of today's video. If you are in the Batangas area and you need a very westernized, very highly modern type of dental procedure done, Doc Mark's the place to go. Doc Mark and his wife, Doc Alicia, they are the place to go. Even if you have to drive a considerable distance, but you want professional dental work done, that's the place to go. Something else this week. We actually had some activities with some of our friends. You know, we're in a retirement community here in Batangas, in Lipa City, and our neighbors often get together, and we normally meet on Saturday nights right here in the backyard of Villa Feliz, or one of the other fine members of our community that will host at their house. And we have some friends from Saipan that actually built the house. We did a video on their house earlier in the year, and they come back. They're here like every couple months. They're back switching between their home in Saipan and their home here, and we had a great time over at their house. They invited some of the members of our community over there, and we sat around the back porch area where they have a swimming pool. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. We enjoyed some good food, good conversation, and of course, one thing you cannot go without in the Philippines is karaoke. Now today is just a little bit different. We are going to put off our SNL Villa Feliz until next Saturday, because the community itself is doing sort of like a SNL Villa Feliz for the entire subdivision, and it's, instead of it being at night, it's going to be this afternoon. So we're going to get together with a bunch of our neighbors at the clubhouse here in our subdivision, and it's going to be like a potluck like we do here on Saturday nights, and it's going to be like a meet and greet for people who don't know some of their neighbors, and the ones that they do, we're just going to have a grand old time like we do. It's a great neighborhood here in our community. And just one more thing I wanted to cover on today's episode, and it's just kind of coincidental, but it happens to be that on the weekends I have a friend in the US, and you've probably seen him visiting us here in the Philippines from Colorado. His name is Art, and he has his own live stream, and every now and then I will try to be on his live stream. It's kind of early in the morning, but if I'm able to get up early enough to get on, I try to join in because it's a lot of fun getting into it. It's sort of like our SNL Villa Feliz, but with a group that does it on a live stream. Anyway, I was able to log in on the way coming back from picking up supplies today from Wilcon for the guys to do the work on the house, and I chatted with them a little bit while I was driving, had them on in the background, and it's kind of ironic that I got into the subdivision and the ladies that you saw, our good friend Bless Samar, who were at that little get-together at Scott Marr's place that I showed you earlier, they happened to be walking down the street, and it's almost like it was a continuation from their fun of doing karaoke last night as I walked up to, or drove up past them, showing the guys on the live stream event.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
There he is.
There he is.
Howdy, 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 howdy.
Wanted to say hi. We're doing a major project at the house. We're doing a house refresh. Romeo Nosete from Caribbean Construction, he most graciously volunteered to help me out with doing a refresh. It's basically the house is going back to looking new again. Hold on a second. You guys are so lucky. You guys are so here. Wait.
He's playing leader of the pack right now. That girl's singing about the fact that you ran over her boyfriend, the delivery driver.
This is a live stream in the U.S. right now. This is my friend from Colorado. He has a channel. These, let's see, hold on. Can you see that? Can you see them?
Yeah.
Are we still?
I was surprised.
She's still from last night. Last night we had a party over at Mara's house over here, and we'll put that in our weekend update to show you a little bit of these lovely ladies. And their beautiful voices from last night. You'll get to hear that. Anyway, I'll see you guys. See you this afternoon at the social. Okay.
Chicken empanada.
Now that's something I really love about being inside the Philippines. Everybody is always smiling, everybody's always joking, everybody is always so festive, and most of all, everybody is always so kind. It's a very respectful place, and why I really enjoy calling the Philippines my home. Well, let me go ahead and get this video edited and uploaded, and just to give you an update, I'm trying to do this on a normal weekly basis so you can see a lot of things that go on in the Philippines. Now again, a lot of the things that we're doing here has to do with working on the house, working in the yard, but when we have an opportunity to break away from some of these and we do some travel or anything that's going on around here, I will try to update that as a minimum during the weekly updates on my weekend wrap-up. Well, that's about it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. Please share. And if you have not subscribed, just click on the little MPID Dream heart in the bottom right-hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time from right here in the very beautiful and friendly Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you're interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.